conceptual perspective to view things. People talk about a desire to be successful, all of the elements.
Hello everybody, Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Hope that everybody's having an awesome start to your week. As for me, it's business as usual, moving around doing the things that we do in Team Wallace. I'm out making some moves for baby while she handles some things. I've been up and moving around since about 4 this morning. I'm going to be shutting it down to try to get some rest soon. But I just wanted to stop in and again reiterate. First of all, for those who have tuned in to the new series that I'm doing on Thursdays, Beyond the Surface, you know that we're talking about mind conditioning, the power of the mind, and we're not only talking about it from a perspective of how the black mind has been conditioned and manipulated, but we're also looking at how you can take control of your thinking to completely change your own life as an individual. Yes, we do need to talk about the need to empower the black collective and to develop a consistent chain and train of thought amongst ourselves. But all of that begins with the ability to think critically as individually. What we don't need is some robotic idea of what is. We need fluid thought, fluid ideas, fluid examinations of current realities, current enigmas, and current dilemmas. And that's what I wanted to work on this thing. This thing is from years of research and experience. I've written papers on it. I've taught on it. I've lectured on it as an academician. And so I want to bring it to you guys. So for those of you who tuned into that, I want to thank you. For those of you who show your support and love for the work that we do at the Odyssey Project, the work we do at the Epigenetics Institute, I want to also say thank you for that. What we have to do is we have to look at the critical time we're in. We tend to kind of float around in this illusion of what is far more than anybody else. Everybody's being manipulated intellectually at some level, but we as a people tend to be more manipulated than most. And we tend to float around with a certain idea of what is, and we lose sight of the true nature of what's happening with us. I want to encourage you to truly find people who you can depend upon, do your research, connect with people, form think tanks. I cannot stress that enough. I'm going to pull over real briefly before I do what I'm going to do to finish this conversation. We need to form think tanks. We need think tanks to address every enigmatic issue in the community. Mass incarceration needs its own think tank. Poverty needs its own think tank. Adolescent male violence needs its think tank. The miseducation of our youth and the holistic education of our youth needs its own think tank. And then our think tanks need to break down into subdivisions and categories. We need it when it comes to gentrification. We need it when it comes to finance. We need it when it comes to business. We need think tanks to address all of that. I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. There are maybe 2 or 3 think tanks for blacks, period. Probably the most notable, Dr. Claude Anderson's Harvest Institute. There are literally 1,200 plus think tanks that work towards controlling and managing and protecting the assets of the wealthy elite in this world. And trust me, that's what this is about. Racism is simply the guardian of the gate to elitism, the protection and control of the wealth, which controls the power. And so we need to be able to have thought processes engaged, strategies engaged. And hello, got it knocked out by an Amber Alert. Sorry about that. But we need think tanks to engage these things. We need to be aware of what's going on. When I look at all of the things that I see on a daily basis surrounding the current election, the COVID-19 pandemic, and so many other things. And I see the misinformation that's flowing as truth through the keyboards and pens of black people who are simply passing on misinformation that they've been fed by systems, by a system whose responsibility and primary goal is to misinform, to misdirect, to mislead, to misguide. And then we are perpetually passing that on to others as truth. And we are doubling down on it. We are literally attacking those who come in with truth that is actually verifiable. We are attacking them because it doesn't align with what status quo mainstream white media is presenting and producing. We've got to do a better job of research. We've got to do a better job of establishing our own. One of my friends and a person who I respect as a colleague, Nyota Yura, has for more than 6 years worked hard and diligently to create the alt-black media project. It's a platform that we can go on and we can share, and we're not going to be censored. We're not going to be shut down. We're not going to have our accounts suspended for speaking truth to power, for sharing the truth and holding people accountable for what is true and not what is created and presented in the form of an illusion as reality. We need to be aware of that. We need to support black platforms, the Black Authority, Professor Black Truth, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, what I do at the Black Voice. This isn't about agreeing with everybody and agreeing with everything everybody does. That's a utopia that will never exist. What it is finding people who are putting in work in the community. Find the people that you believe in what they're doing. Find the people that you can trust what they're doing. Find the people that when you fact check them, that the vast majority of the time, 89, 90, 95% of the time, they're on point. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's right all the time. But when you see that they are diligently putting in the work and what they're presenting you as the facts as they have discovered them, and giving you what they believe the proper interpretation is, you need to get behind these people. One thing we don't do is we don't support our own. We'll go off and do all these other things. We will splurge and ball out of control to do things that only serve to finance our own demise. When you're spending money recklessly into the economic system of those who oppress you, you literally are financing your own demise. You're financing your own depression, and you don't even realize it. And you are literally taking pleasure and joy in the idea that you're doing it because there's some symbolism of you being successful, but you still wield no power because you have not collectively united and held what is to be the source of power, which is wealth. And so that's what we need to focus on. It is immensely important that we gain a lucid perspicacity of how to operate and move, not for the system, but through the system, so that we can maintain and control our own destinies. It is absolutely imperative. I'm going to leave this by saying we need your support here at the Odyssey Project and the Black Voice. This is something that I've been doing for over 10 years on YouTube. And I've gone against up and down. I've had YouTube snatch me and shake me and do everything else they can to stop it. And here I am still sitting here bringing you truth to power, sharing with you the things. If you notice, I've never gone after another black scholar, another black activist. And it's not that I agree with everything. It's that we all have a place, and there's a time and place to do that. And it's not out in the open where they can see the division. It's not out in the open where they can see how they can attack us and pit us against one another. Sometimes it's just better to let things move on and focus on what you do. Something I've always learned, if I'm living the life that I'm supposed to be living, then I don't have a whole lot of time to be focusing on what other people are doing or not doing. And it lets me be productive in my space. And if I'm productive enough, the life that I live will have an impact enough that I will speak to the things that I'm passionate about without attacking or going after anybody. It doesn't mean that if I need to call somebody out that I won't. But those are the people I don't believe that are truly for us. I'll call them out. But if I think a person is truly trying from where they're at to make something happen, I'm going to let them do what they do. And on that note, I'm going to get ready to get off of here. I still got to finish these errands, these honeydews for Marion. But I needed to make this statement. I needed to share this video. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day. Again, show your love and support. How you can support us is going to be in the description box, first paragraph. On that note, I'm out of here. You have a great day. Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in with a little special announcement. For those who have followed me for any stretch of time, you know, outside of the businesses that I run, like Myriad Business Solutions, the Epigenetics Institute, Odyssey Media Group, I also do a great deal of work inside of the inner city communities in Houston, Dallas, and other areas. I'm asking now, as we push a fundraiser, that you support what the Odyssey Project is doing in the inner cities, especially with programs like Black Men Lead, which is a rite of passage initiative, and Restoring Ghettos Forgotten Daughters, which is a program focused on helping young girls, but boys as well, suffering from childhood sexual abuse, rape, molestation, domestic abuse, absentee fatherhood, and so many other things. The information will be in the box. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. First of all, I want to thank everyone for all the love and support that you have given and sent my way and my wife's way and the organization's way. Now, I want to just take a brief moment to remind you that we still need your support. We still need your help. Go to the description box of one of our videos and see how you can support the work we're doing. Keep supporting, keep loving us, and we're going to keep loving you back. Have an awesome day.
From a conceptual perspective, people talk about a desire to be successful. All of the elements